talk about Jerusalem. You see, Trump made Jerusalem the capital of Israel to make the Palestinian act up. That's what I said before. Trump is going to make the Palestinian act up so they can get a Palestinian state. See, the United Nations, that's why they go into the United Nations to get a Palestinian state. They're going to make East Jerusalem their capital. So they're going to part of God's land. See, now you read in Job chapter 3, it says this, and verse 2, it says, I will also gather all nations, and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat. That's the battle of Armageddon, the valley of Jehoshaphat, and will plead with them there for my people, see, and for my inheritance, Israel, who they have scattered among the nation, and parted my land. See, they scattered Jerusalem. That's why I said Jerusalem is going to go into captivity. See, when they set up the abomination and make it desolate, Jerusalem, after that, Jerusalem going to go into captivity. There's a lot of people don't believe that. See, they believe teaching of these great preachers and prophets that they'll be telling the truth. But you research God's word, the Bible tell you that Jerusalem going to go into captivity for 3.5 years, the last 3.5 years. And I'm going to read it again. It says, I will also gather all nations, and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat. That's the battle of Armageddon. And will plead with them there for my people, for my inheritance, Israel, who they have scattered among the nation, and parted my land. You see, they have scattered Israel, his people, and they parted his land. And verse 3 said, and they have cast lot for my people, and have given a boy for a harlot. See, they're making boy like homosexual. See, you know, most of the thing I'll be wanting the women, it'd be like in the days of Lot. See, man want to go with men. See, and sold a girl for wine that they might drink. See, in the last day, like I said, Jerusalem gonna go into captivity, and they're gonna scatter his people into all nations. See, in the first Babylon, they scattered into all nations for 70 years, stayed at the Babylon. But this time it's gonna be 3.5 years. All right, turn to I think it's in Luke chapter 21 and verse 24. He said, verse 24 says, and they shall fall by the edge of the sword, and shall be led away captive into all nations. See, they're talking about Jerusalem. See, it's like what we read in Job chapter 3, what I just read. See, and be led away captive into all nations. And Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentile until the time of the Gentiles be fulfilled. See, Jerusalem will be trodden down of the Gentile for the time of the Gentile be fulfilled. This is what a lot of people don't see. See, because the Palestinians are going to get to like the East Jerusalem. I said, I think the Jews are going to have their capital for the West Jerusalem. So, and they're going to get mad at the Jewish people. They're going to come against them. That's why they're going to go into captivity. they're going to defeat Jerusalem, the west part of Jerusalem. And they're going to take them all and scatter them into all nations. Jerusalem. See, because the Palestinians are already going to be in Jerusalem. That's why I tell you, and like in Zechariah chapter 14, tell you about half of the city will go into captivity. See, Jerusalem going to have, the Jews going to have the other half. The Palestinians going to get the other half for their capital. The East Jerusalem going to be their capital. And the West Jerusalem going to be the Jewish capital. So then Jerusalem going to be trodden down. The Gentiles going to take over, and they're going to take their people, the Jewish people, and scatter them into all nations. Just like the first Babylon. It was 70 years, but this Babylon is going to be 3.5 years. See. Turn to Zechariah. See, I'm going to show you in Zechariah chapter 14. Zechariah 14 and verse 2, where it says, "For I will gather all nations against Jerusalem." See, that's the first time. It's before the battle of Armageddon, when he gonna gather all nations against Jerusalem. See, in the battle of Armageddon, he gonna gather them down into the battle of Jehoshaphat. That's the battle of Armageddon. And Joel chapter 3. See, and right here, that's when they set up the abomination, and Jerusalem gonna go into captivity for 3.5 years. Then on the end of the 3.5 years, he gonna gather those nations again in the battle of Jehoshaphat to be destroyed on the battle for the battle of Armageddon. You have to understand the Bible. It's in verse 2 saying, "I will gather all nations against Jerusalem to battle, and the city shall be taken." See, the city gonna be taken. See, and the houses rifled, and the women ravished. I mean, the women gonna be raped, and half of the city shall go forward into captivity. See what I'm saying? Half of the city, because the Jews gonna have the other half, like the west part of Jerusalem, for their capital. And the Palestinians going to have the east part for their capital. See, the Palestinians going to already be in Jerusalem. So when they're going to come against the Jews and going to defeat them. See, I don't know if it's them or the 10 horn, 10 king, either one. But Jerusalem going to go into captivity for 3.5 years. And then it's going to be the battle, end of the 3.5 years. Then it's going to be the battle of Armageddon, where you're going to gather them down into the, well, the Lord going to gather them down into the battle of Jehoshaphat. That's the battle of Armageddon. But first, he's going to gather all nations against Jerusalem to battle, and the city shall be taken. See, it tells you that right here in Zechariah 14 and verse 2. City shall be taken, and the houses rifled, and the women ravished, and half of the city shall go forward into captivity, and the residue of the people shall not be cut off from the city. See, that's why I tell you that in Luke chapter 20, Luke chapter 21 and verse 24, it said, "And they shall fall by the edge of the sword." See, and shall be led away captive into all nations. See, they'll be led away captive into all nations. See, it tells you Jerusalem will go into captivity. See, it tells you that in Zechariah chapter 14 too, in verse 2. It said, "And Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles." See, they're going to be trodden down of the Gentiles. See, because the Jews going to have the west part, and the west part going to be trodden down of the Gentile. See. And the Palestinians going to have the east part. Going to make the east part probably their capital. The United Nations probably going to make their capital. See. That's why God wanted Trump to win, for fulfill his will. You know. to what's going to be happening at the end time. See, God sets up king and he put down. God do whatever he wants. The Bible tells you that he sets up kings. See, God put Trump in that office. That's why all those people fighting, try to get Trump out of the office and they can't get him out. Because God wanted him there. You have to understand that. God ruled in the kingdom of man. He sets up king and he put down and do whatever he want to do. And a lot of people do not understand that. I'm just trying to show that Jerusalem are going into captivity, in the last 3.5 years. And Trump the one probably going to fight Iran. It's wrong to be broken. You'll break Iran horn. But I'm just showing you about what's going to happen, according to God's word in the Bible. That's why you have to take heed, let no man deceive you. A lot of people teaching all different types of stuff that is not true. But Jerusalem will be trodden down of the Gentile. The Bible tells you that right here in Luke. Because in Luke chapter 21 and verse 24, it's talking about the end time. All that chapter is talking about the end time. But Jesus Christ is talking about, same as Matthew chapter 24 and Mark chapter 13. It's the same thing. You're talking about the end time. And Jerusalem will go into captivity. Last 3.5 years. You're going to be trodden down of the Gentile. Till the time of the Gentile be fulfilled. This is what I wanted to bring to y'all today. So, may God bless y'all and give y'all wisdom and knowledge and understanding of his word. Thank you.